Preservation of jobs, especially during this COVID period, was the main focal point for discussion at the General Council of the Technical and Allied Workers Union on Thursday. President of TAWU, Andrew Lewis, says one of the bigger challenges faced by workers during this time is the loss of jobs. Even though there might have been a reduction in salaries or reduced working hours in some instances, he says they have been able to preserve jobs for members.
The unemployment has significantly increased during this particular period. But we have been able within TAWU to minimize that loss of jobs by making a number of compromises in order to hold on to the jobs. So the main driving aspect of the union has been the preservation of jobs. Even if it meant compromising on some fronts to hold on to jobs, we had to do that. But at the end of the day, we can all adjust that going forward. So much so that in most of the workplaces, salaries are almost back to normal. And the working period is almost back to normal. Yes, there are some places that have not yet gone back to that, but it is absolutely clear that this will be done in the not too distant future.
With government giving the assurance that some contract workers within the public service will be regularized, the union's president says, as a union, they too have an obligation in ensuring that this happens.
So there's the aspect of contract work. And the General Council have already, again, given its commitment to stand up once we decide to take whatever decisive action that is required at the right time. And that timing will be decided by us, given the commitment to ensure that the workers who are on contract in any workplace that we represent shall be made permanent at the right time. If the employer fails to do that, the relevant action must be taken to ensure that that has been done.
A number of employees have already felt the brunt of job losses due to their refusal to get vaccinated. The union leader was again questioned on their stance for workers who are members of the union opting not to be vaccinated.
Said and maintained that vaccination ought not to be mandatory, especially for established workers, workers who are already working. In TAWU's case, outside of SGU, because SGU is currently before the Ministry of Labor, as you'd recall, we have had cases where there were mandates given to workers and deadlines given. But through our engagement, those mandates have been pulled back and those deadlines have been removed. So far, outside of SGU, all the other workplaces that have engaged us in terms of mandatory vaccination, we have been able to push back even where there are deadlines given. So we have been doing that. We have been doing that, encouraging workers to be vaccinated. But we have been pushing back against mandatory vaccination.
Lewis says while some of these negotiations are taking place, employees remained on the job. Christelina John, GBN News.